Good afternoon. It is Monday, April 22nd, 2024, and we are here on the Grown Folk Talking Express Yourself Progressive Podcast Network. This is Evadyne, and this show is Evadyne with Company. Talk worth listening to. I hope that we bring talk worth listening to. And today, what we're going to be discussing is IT, AI, the Jetsons, and Scotty beaming me up. And I say it like that because where we are today is not where we were in the past. And if we are paying close attention, we will see that technology has been evolving as long as we have been breathing. And it's going to continue to evolve, we hope, without any imminent danger to anyone, and actually learning how to protect yourself. Because with technology comes the elements that brings stronger signals, which of course is the radiation. So hopefully we'll have some people sharing with us ways of protecting ourselves from excess radiation, as well as eliminating excess radiation from our bodies. But it's all part of technology, and as we are living in this vast universe, this galaxy for which Earth hangs out. So we're hanging out too, right? Actually, we're floating. Imagine that. The idea that we are part of the floating galaxy. Wow. Imagine. Okay. So here we are today. And speaking about technology, truly in respect to our lives, the things that we have learned to do, and the ways that we have been able to navigate this technology from, I'm going to say from the 60s, but it went further back, of course, than that, because we were watching television in the 60s, we were watching television in the 50s, there was radio. In the 20s and 30s, there was communication. Wow. From the beginning of what we are reading regarding history, that was all technology. So again, I say technology is ever evolving. And are we evolving with it? Are we keeping up with the Joneses and the Harrisons and the ebooks? Are we keeping up and taking advantage of this evolvement of technology in our personal lives as well as our business lives? Are we? So I am Evadyne, and I'm just going to take a sound check to make sure I am being heard and to make sure you are being heard. So all who are present now, can you please say aye? Aye, aye. I thank you. So, of course, in this process of Evadyne with Company, talk worth listening to, I will ask if anyone has any input. You received the invitation regarding today's podcast. Do you have any input, ideas? Do you recognize technology in your life personally and or professionally, and how it can be best used if you're using it in that way, or you have an idea of how it can be better used moving forward? Would you like to? Okay. Hi, Jada. Hi, see, I didn't recognize your voice. I'm sorry. I'm still trying to, tuning in. Hi, Jada.
I am appreciative appreciative of the aspect of connectivity in that I can talk to people, all over the world. I have access to that through my cell phone, through my computer. I still think and honor in real life, up close and personal conversations and connections. I think that sometimes we just need to reach out and touch each other. And so I utilize the technology available, but I also make time and space for in-person connections. And I think being able to balance that is important. And for younger people, they have always grown up with this technology. I remember when you made long-distance phone calls on the weekend because it was cheaper. And so you weren't talking to people far away every day, all day. And so, but if you grew up with that, then I don't know that you are as intentional regarding in-person interaction.
Thank you. If there's background noise, can you mute yourself until you're ready to speak, please? And so thank you, Jada. There's nothing like person-to-person contact, in person. And you're right. I forgot all about that back in the day with the telephone technology in our time, right? In our time, there were those signal waves that were connecting people to people, long distance. There was the friends and family, I think through MCI. You could call your friends and family as long as they were MCI customers, and it would be free, long distance. But all of that is technology. And when I mentioned Beam Me Up Scotty, we were watching Star Trek. I was going to say back in the day, but even today, and they would just touch their ear and communicate with the team that was out on the planet exploring, and they would do this from the ship. But imagine, we're even watching the program. That in itself is technology, right? That is the bringing together the signals, developing how they could work, and making them work for you. And then we can look at even our household appliances and how they have evolved. There was the gas stove that was connected to the pipe that brought in the gas that lit the fire, and now today you just plug it in the wall and the heat comes through, and the energy comes through and heats up the elements in the electric or the microwave or now the air fryer. It's all technology. And today you have people who are fearful of AI. And it's so interesting because A is the first letter of the alphabet, right? Like, don't be afraid of the beginning. Wait till we get to Z. But they're afraid of the advancement. But AI is a branding. It's a branding. Like you have Google and you have Microsoft and you have Apple. Those are all brandings of evolution and companies that are bringing things in and out. I don't believe, personally, that under AI, anything is going to be new. It's just going to grow. It's going to be different. It's going to have a different twist. Because even under AI, there's so many different companies doing so many different things under the banner, the branding of AI. But it's artificial intelligence. I'm going to whisper this, but don't tell anyone. Intelligent people are programming the artificial intelligence. So it's actually called artificial because you're able to say two things and get 22 things out of it. But man has programmed that development. Man has created, and I'm going to say synchronized, what is making that happen. Would anyone else like to speak now? Or I'll say this. If you're watching this or listening to this on YouTube and you'd like to join in the conversation, you can leave your comments in the YouTube. So that's my YouTube is likeSSR.com. You could also visit and view, like, share, subscribe, and, of course, ring the bell on the Grown Folk Talking Express Yourself YouTube channel, where you will find many of our shows on this Grown Folk Talking network. And Jada, who just spoke, she actually has a show on Tuesdays. And Jada, I'll ask you to come back and tell us about your show and the other businesses that you do and how people can reach you.
Okay. My show is called Grace Space, and Grace Space takes a holistic approach to mental, physical, spiritual, and emotional health and well-being and healing. It is a safe space to discuss different topics, share life experiences, and get together to encourage and support each other. On tomorrow's show, the 23rd at 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, our guest is going to be someone who has a TikTok channel. And I think it'll be interesting and enlightening. She'll tell us a little bit about what she does, why she does it, and give us some examples of her work. Thank you, Evadyne.
You're welcome, Jada. And you also have a private business, is that correct?
Yes, life coaching. And so you can reach me at jada.liftedlifecoach@gmail.com. And I primarily work with women, but I am also experienced in working with relationships. So whether that's, men and women, or if someone wants to come to me individually to discuss their family relationships, work relationships, I'm available to do that also. And so you can reach out at jada.liftedlifecoach@gmail.com or jadahearl@gmail.com. Appreciate you, Evadyne.
Absolutely, thank you. Because we all need that. We need all the help and support and strength that we can get from whoever is able to give it to us. But first and foremost, understanding and identifying the fact that we need it and we could use it. And so today's conversation for me is because I've been invited to collaborate with producers and technology experts in the AI environment with Google and all of the tools associated. And it was because small businesses or independent businesses, even if you have a website, your website might not be getting the attention and the traffic, or you, the business, that you would like to have from your website. Your website, I call it now a galactic business presence online, and I call it galactic because the www, the worldwide, is past the world. It's those who are on Mars, those who are in the spaceships. They're looking too. So it's more than the world, because I could be wrong, I consider the world to be Earth when it's used in that context. But it's bigger than that. It's galactic. It's throughout the entire universe, the entire galaxy. Wherever anyone is, they can log in. And so when that is the case, and you are putting forth your effort to place your business in that sphere, you want it to bring you results. The results don't always have to be monetary. You can see results in actions. You can see results in just paying attention and getting your answers. And so for me, I said that I wanted 2024 to bring me something different. I knew with all of the different ventures that I'm involved with under my business umbrella that there was something I was going to need to back up off of so that I could move forward in other ways that are already in me, but just not so much time given. And the one most important is my 2 books that I have that are life-changing and life-saving, and to get those out into the hands of as many people, virtually, through the digital copy, or through the paperback, galactically. And so when I received the call from one of my tax clients, actually, that she wanted me to join her and her brother in this venture because she knows my involvement and their expertise would be a great partnership. But it was the answer to what I was asking for, since I had already decided I needed to move from something to move more energy into something else. And so that something else is pretty much virtual. It's technology-based. It's me being in one place, but being seen, heard, and delivered in many places all at one time. And that's technology. So I'll say to you, in that initial conversation with them, one of the things that was most important in the example that he gave me, Vladimir, it's Vladimir and Nada, I went to my website. I Googled my website, and in the corner, when you Google, it's a search. So it came up with different names of different businesses associated, similar to what I had searched. When mine came up, there was a little, no, not a little, there was a box to the left, and it said, claim this business. And he showed me, which I've done now, that all you had to do is click claim this business and put your information in, and you would have been able to claim my business. My website, everything I've designed, all the things that I do, but in the Google search, I had not claimed that business to be mine. So anyone could have put in their contact number, their email, and every time someone would have searched and reached out, it would have been to that individual or to that business. That was invaluable to me. And I just felt others needed to hear, know, so I'm sharing, because that's what I do. At networkingforsuccess.info, which is the name of my business, I share information. And so we're still developing the complete project, but one of the things we spoke about was getting 5 to 20 businesses to participate in our pilot program so that others who wanted to see and hear about the results of what it is we're putting together, there would be perfect real-time examples of how businesses received value in the project that we're developing. So that's why I said, talk about it, because we all do different things and we know different people. So those who will participate in the pilot project, it will be at no financial cost to them. However, we will ask that they invite others that they know who are in business or who want to go into business, because if we can show people who are launching their business how to secure their presence and their visibility be expanded, if we can show them that in the beginning of their process, then they won't be like me. they won't be shocked to know that anyone else could have claimed my business. Does this all make sense?
Yes, and that's really valuable information that you are offering to share.
Thank you. Well, I'm a receiver and a deliverer. It's those antennas that I keep up in the air. And I always say people chant, pray, meditate, or have their conversation with a higher power. But if you're not paying attention to when your answer knocks on the door, rings the bell, or just waits past you with a beautiful scent, if you're not paying attention, you will miss. You will miss that opportunity. So I like to pay attention. I used to cross my eyes a lot. So I guess now I know why. I was like, oh, where'd you go? But I think sometimes I would do it intentionally when I was much younger. But I've also learned that when people are speaking to me, they say I do different things with my eyes, which I cannot see. But then one day I did see it when I was being interviewed, and I watched the video. I was like, okay, what are you doing with your eyes, Evadyne? Like, what? I was asking myself. And I don't know if you've ever seen Terry McMillan in an interview or her speaking, but my eyes look like hers. I knew I had to deliberately stop whatever it was I was doing and try to focus on keeping them as straight as possible. Because I would always say, you know how they say if a person is not staring you straight in the face or looking you in your eyes, that they're lying. But I don't feel that way about me. Number one, I didn't know I was doing it. But number two, my response would be, I'm getting my messages. If you're saying that I'm doing certain things with my eyes, the only thing I could think of is that I'm just getting my messages. That's it. It's just like the microwaves. The waves are just going and my eyes are just following and information is coming and here I am delivering it. But after seeing what it actually looked like, I'm just deliberately trying to be more clearer in my direction when I'm speaking with my eyes. Thank you, Jada. It is very important that we share information. And there's no harm or foul in business opportunity, as when Nada reached out to me, because we've been in a relationship, a tax relationship, for about 6 years. And she's a producer, film producer, director, very, very, very sincere. She's from Serbia. And her brother, Vladimir, he's an expert in Google and the business of the tools. He has a virtual photography business. They're in their family business. So again, it was the correct knock on the door for me. And everything's not for everybody. But just that little bit of information that I received from him regarding that claim my business, priceless. Priceless. So I'm going to put it out to the audience again. And I'm sorry, once again, if you're watching this on YouTube, leave a comment, or you can give me a call at 347-457-2769. If you have any questions, you can email me at teamfollowme@yahoo.com. If you feel like you want you or your business to be a part of this. And like I mentioned, if you don't have a business but you're thinking about business, well, we can help you with that too, because that's something I do before the partnership that I'm going to go into with Nada and Vladimir. We help businesses with business formation. We help you with your taxes. We help you establish your LLC. We help you with your 1023 if you want to be a nonprofit. So we help you with that anyway through Networking for Success. So this is a perfect collaboration. Reach out. Don't be afraid. And again, you can visit my website, networkingforsuccess.info. And again, Grown Folk Talk and Express Yourself. That's where we are today. We're on Grown Folk Talk and Express Yourself, Progressive Podcast Network. If you're listening on YouTube, you should call in. 520-525-8633. That is the call-in number for the Grown Folk Talking Podcast Network. You can listen to the entire show lineup. You could also visit grownfolktalkandexpressyourself.com or the Grown Folk Talk and Express Yourself YouTube. Like, share, subscribe, and ding dong, ring all the bells whenever you're on any YouTube, and it's valuable. Jada, I'm so interested in the TikToker tomorrow because people do not realize how valuable, again, it's all about technology, how valuable the information on the social media platforms could be to you. Valuable. You can pick and choose. People say, I'm not on Facebook. I don't like what they do on Facebook. No. Everybody's not doing the same thing on Facebook. Another technology piece with galactic reach. You pick and choose how you want to engage, just like with your friends in school, just like with your coworkers at work. You pick and choose. And if you hear that some of these platforms are directing certain content to certain neighborhoods, okay, guess what? Now you can search for the content that interests you. You can search for it. People don't realize, again, with technology, there's this thing. If I'm in Maryland watching, let's say, Friends on TV, regular TV, and I wonder if the same things may happen with cable, probably does. And if someone else is in California watching the same program, let's pretend it's the same time zones. When the commercial comes, the commercial coming to me in Maryland is going to be about my area. And at that same time, the commercial coming to that person in California is going to be about their area. That's because technology, one, it knows where you are. And two, based on the show you're watching, that's also going to determine the type of commercial that comes your way. That's analytics, that's technology, that is, and this is how things are controlled. So I refer to that where I was speaking about social media and TikTok and what is the other one, Instagram, that being directed to you is what technology feels you're going to be interested in. Because people pay a lot of money for commercials. Businesses, they pay a lot of money for commercials. So they don't want a Depends commercial, adult diapers, going to the 15-year-old community that might be watching the Disney Channel. You would just not understand that. So there's a lot of information in the analytics of technology. But again, don't let the agenda makers control your thinking by influencing you with the negative aspects of anything. For me, when I hear negativity about a person, it makes me look at them if I've never known them. Because I feel there's something in what they're doing that's valuable, but the agenda makers throwing out the negativity would keep you from looking. So that makes me look. It's like an exterminator. I don't know if you realize this, and I could be wrong, but I found it to be the case. You may not see any roaches, but it's the month that the exterminators, the time that they come into your apartment. They come in, and what they put down attracts roaches to kill them. The roaches may be in the apartment upstairs, or the mice, whatever it is. But their bait, oh, let me see, B-A-I-T. Their bait, because they call it that, don't they? Attracts so it can do its job. So my father, he would not allow the exterminators to come into our apartments. Not allow them. And it was okay. No attraction. But technology. So today we're speaking about technology, the value of it, the evolvement of it, how you feel or see it affecting you personally in your personal life, affecting positive or negative, how it may be affecting you or impacting your business, or how you would like it to impact your business. Any questions or comments? Okay. See, I like to take a deep breath. That's part of technology, too. I like to take, it is really, I like to take a deep breath and give others an opportunity to speak, because we're here to learn from one another. We don't all experience the same things and in the same way, but it's there. Some of you may remember when the cell phones came out, speaking about evolvement. When the cell phones first came out, they were almost as large as bricks and heavy. I think Cellular One was one of the first companies that was out, and I mean, these things were heavy. But now, they're as light as feathers. Now it's weird, they're getting much bigger now, right? But they're as light as feathers compared to what they weighed when they first came out. And it was because of the design. You know, when things are new, they put it together, and now it's working and perfect. And they actually, the walkie-talkie was, I would say, almost the first kind of public stage of a cell phone, a little bit, though it had a range. It had a range, but you know that range is about technology again. And then it just continued to advance and advance and advance. Because even Nextel was a phone and a two-way. I'm just remembering that, yeah. It was a phone and a two-way radio at the same time. Evolvement. Just like the telephone. And let me mention this. Telephone technology is disturbing me right now. I used to recommend to especially older people and those who are disabled to keep their landline, the jack in the wall, the phone cord from the jack to the phone, no cordless phone, just a regular straight desktop trim line, everything connected. Because during blackouts, I noticed the blackout of 2003, unless you had that type of phone in your home, there was no connection. You couldn't call anybody. You call a person down the hall in person, but you couldn't reach out because the satellites went down. And the cable companies, those who had the cable phones, they were down because of the satellites, and also because there was no power. There was a blackout. If you had a cordless phone, you had no service. So I talked on the phone all night. I've always been a phone person, so I talked on the phone like all night because I had that device that I am speaking about. I had the jack, cord, phone, cord, everything connected. Now, Verizon, which was kind of like the staple landline company after, AT&T, they're changing things to Fios. And yes, the cable is underground still because they pretty much own the wiring. You know, they own that territory, right? If we have a blackout and you have FiOS, it's out too. Did you know? Yeah, it's out too. So when they come in to do installation, they tell you they give you a backup battery, quote, quote, but you know the backup battery needs to be charged. It needs to be charged. So if you have no power, unless you're keeping it charged 24/7 without a supplement to your electric bill, you're not going to have power. You're not going to have a way of communicating. That's pretty scary to me. But there is an agenda that the agenda makers have in place, and I guess we just have to, as they say, deal with it. I'm thinking shortwave radios again. That would be an answer, and hopefully it would work. But just going to open it up again. Anyone have any questions or comments or any type of examples of technology and how it works for you in your life or in your business? Okay. It doesn't take long for me to breathe deep. I just won't let you hear it. So, technology. We have, let me think about it. We have computers today. We have mini computers, which are almost our telephones. But before we had typewriters. So the evolvement of the keyboard has gone from typewriters with ribbons to now the keyboard connected to the monitor for either your laptop or computer. And the efficiency of this now evolved device is amazing. But guess what? Even if you have a keyboard, you can press a button or an icon and you don't have to use the keyboard at all. You can just speak to this device and it will do the typing for you. Evolvement of technology. How do we protect ourselves against radiation? Well, kelp helps to rid radiation out of your body. Chlorella helps to rid radiation out of your body. We are in a radiated environment because we're part of the solar system. We're part of the universe, this planet that we're on. So we're around the radiation anyway. But when we're using devices, when they are incorporated in our homes and our offices, the attraction of more radiation is a concern for many. I asked someone before about the solar panels that they use on homes. My concern with the solar panels is that it was attracting the radiation from the sun because that's what's charging it. That level of radiation, how is it affecting the residents of the home? Since I've asked that question and riding around as I do, I saw where there's a kind of like a plate that the solar panels are on, other than the roof. So the plate is on the roof, and I'm wondering if that plate is a lead-based plate. Because if it's lead-based, then that could be protecting the home from the excessive radiation. So I will have to check into that. because the solar panels would then be connected to the cables, which would bring the energy into the home. But if there's lead plates between the roof and the solar panel, then that may be a level of protection. And so then I'll give it a check plus. Not that anybody's listening to me. I'm just saying, you know. I ask the questions and then I receive the answers, which may be the answers, which may not be, but I'm just looking further into it. Otherwise, I met a gentleman who said that his girlfriend, she didn't mind the solar panels, but she wanted them only on the back of the house because she didn't want to change what the front of the house looked like. So the solar panels are on the back of the house and connected to the main circuit box for heat and for kitchen appliances. And that makes a lot of sense, you know, because you can do whatever you do by day, or you can bring things into the kitchen area. You know, you can bring things into the kitchen area if you needed to work, like on your computer or something like that. But for the most part, you can hang out in the dark with the one you love, you know, with some candles or a fire if it's the winter. Or you can do what you need to do by day, and then by evening, you know. But this is all in case of emergency. So they have the panels in case of emergency. They don't lose out on being able to eat and cook and keep warm with their boiler being able to continue to run. So I thought that made sense. So whoever's listening, if you're considering solar panels, but you don't want to change the aesthetic of your front, then, you know, you might want to do what the girlfriend wanted to do. I think that's a good idea. But that's all technology. Technology and advancement and sharing of information. These electric cars that drive on their own, they just recall the latest models of the SUVs because the brake wasn't listening to the driver. They were accelerating. When you accelerate, when you go to stop, the brake wasn't listening to the driver. So they recalled all that are put out, and they stopped sending out the ones that were still being manufactured because they couldn't control the acceleration. And that's with a human driving it, not even self-driving. That's technology too. I'm concerned about the level of technology in vehicles, even if they're not self-driving vehicles, because it's always been, I mean, the fact that you have a radio in your car, no matter how old your car was, that is a level of technology. But this smartness is a little too smart for me. As I was driving one day and the car stopped short in front of me, so I'm maneuvering to get away from it, and my vehicle decides it wants to stop for me. I didn't notice because I was in the process of handling the thing I know how to do. But my passenger said, "Hey, your vehicle stopped itself." I was like, "It did what?" So it didn't completely stop, but she saw the light come on in the dash as I was going to the right to get away from it. I didn't like that at all. Not a bit. Not a tinge. I didn't like that at all. And I know it's a safety feature, so it can come in handy if you fall asleep or dozing off, or if you may not notice it for whatever the reason of distraction. It can stop you from hitting someone. It beeps and then it stops. I know that's a benefit in case of emergency, right? I know that. But I'm awake, and I know it doesn't know I'm awake. I like to be able to control my vehicle. That's all I'm saying. But technology is flying airplanes and trains. And if you watch Leave the World Behind on Netflix, you'll see that technology is doing a whole lot of other things. But once again, the programming of all this technology is mankind. So you can program it, you can reprogram it, and you can over-program it. And that would be, for me, hacking. It would be over-programming. I don't want too much of that in my home. I don't want to tell Alexa to turn off my lights or turn on my lights, or I don't know how pretty she is, but I'm not attracted to women. And even if Alexa had a male's voice, I wouldn't know how handsome he is. But let me just control the things that I'm used to controlling, because it can make you too autonomous where you forget how to. You forget how to. It doesn't take long to forget how to do something. So, there's a good, not so good, the bad. What do they say? In moderation. In moderation, we should be exploring the technology options in our lives, personally and business. So, what do we do now? We look at what's available. Again, when it comes to our business, isn't this pretty? Listen to this. I hate answering my phone. I hate answering my phone now because I love the ringtone. That's technology. I'm just saying, But yeah, we in our business, there is. So my plan, which I had back in the 90s, I had a plan to run a temp agency, a staffing agency from Virginia to Albany. I thought it would be a great idea. Definitely it would give a lot of range and reach for clients on both ends, people looking for work and people who need staffing. But I'm now considering a nationwide staffing agency because, again, I'm very sorry for the losses, but I'm grateful for the gains of the pandemic that showed us the power of virtuality. Back to technology again, right? And you may hear of HR staffing that's virtual. They handle all of your HR, literally from payroll to creating your manuals. Oh, whoever's listening, creating your let me not say HR just in case, human resource manuals, your code of conduct. They handle all of that. I think it's $99 a month. That's nothing when it comes to a budget. Well, let me say this, starting at $99 a month, I think they say, but that's nothing compared to literally a staffing budget for your HR department. So technology, yes, someone may say, well, that's taking jobs from people. But if I start a staffing agency, it might be taking jobs from people, but for the business that I want to do, it's helping to create jobs. And if my overhead, so here's the funny thing about business, right? If you're fair-minded and you're a profitable business and being fair-minded, the least overhead you have, like Uber, the more profitability you have. And unlike Uber, the more you'll be able to turn that over, like the owner of Costco's. You'll be able to turn over that profit more to the people who are making the company successful. So the owner of Costco's back in the 90s, I remember his interview where he said that he doesn't need to make more than 10%. How was it? Back in the 90s, Costco's employees started at $17 an hour. So we all know that was like far more than the minimum wage. But what did he say? Was it 100%? His salary didn't need to be more than 100% of the highest earner of the company. pretty much like he didn't mind at $17 an hour in the 90s, he didn't mind and see anything wrong with people being paid a good wage for the work that they do. And I think he said it was 100% more than the highest paid hourly employee. I think that's what he said. That his final numbers didn't have to be more than that. You can look that up and double check me. It was well worth it, and it will be well worth it to investigate it. But when you don't have the overhead as a profitable business, then yes, the profit can be shared more equally or more fairly and justly with your staff, who actually, as we all know, is your front-end person that represents your business. Depending on your business, it could be, anybody could be the front end, literally, from the receptionist to the cashier to the security, whoever it is, that you want to make sure people are treated fairly. So with this human resource app, I could see using that for my business. But I think the nationwide staffing is going to be, and so I'm a little patient, right? I'm going to be more patient than some others. But I come up, no I don't. I was going to say I come up with ideas, but my technology allows me to receive ideas. Those are my antennas working again. So I receive ideas and I share them, because I've been sharing this idea, because I believe that it's not always for me to fulfill because I received it. But in this case, with the staffing agency, I surely don't have a problem with it. So anyone interested in following up and following through with me on that, I welcome you. So today's conversation is about technology and its evolvement, advancement, how you see it working in your life personally, beneficial or not, sharing it with us, and how you see it in your business. I did share that I was invited to partner with a highly skilled technology expert and his sister, who's a producer and director, in a project that will help small businesses get more visibility, better results on the internet. And really, like, if your business is on the internet, that's what it's on there for. Even if you just want people to, you can't scratch and sniff yet, but if you just want people to go and peek, whatever you want them to do, how to best get that done. How to best get that done. And so this project, we're going to look for, I think, up to 20 people. I can't remember the exact number. Again, we were pretty much brainstorming. We're putting it together. But let's say 15 to 20 companies that want to be part of the pilot program. It will not financially cost you anything, but we will only ask that you invite others to the virtual events that we hold introducing the program. So no financial cost to you, but just a little bit of sweat equity. And I think that's a little fair if you're interested in your business going to its next level and seeing how this project will be able to get it there. So I'll open the floor again. If anyone have any questions or comments or suggestions, or would like to share how you've watched technology evolve over the decades. I'm not going to say the centuries. Now, we could say the centuries. We can, because just for the television that we've watched and other stories we may have heard, we can compare it to what we've watched or heard and then to today. But just in our lives over the decades, if you'd like to share how you've watched the evolvement of technology and its impact on you and or your business, the floor is open.
Okay, I'll say something. Hello.
Hello. How are you? How are you, Marcus?
I'm actually good. How's your day going?
Pretty perfect. I don't know if you all heard this before, but perfect for me is exactly what it's supposed to be. So, perfect. Thank you.
That's good to hear. I'm glad that you're having that kind of day. And that's the kind of day that I look forward to having. But I'm having a good day. So the question that you asked is one about technology?
That is correct. The evolvement of technology. How have you seen it? How do you feel about it? How has it impacted your life personally, or impacted your life on a business level, or would like for it to? Good, bad, and or indifferent. And I use in the invitation IT, which if you worked in corporate America, you call the IT department. It meant you had a technology issue. So I put IT, AI, artificial intelligence, which is programmed by humans, not to be fearful, And then I mentioned the Jetsons and Beam Me Up Scotty, because there was a lot of technology in that as well.
Okay. So I can give a short description of how technology has actually worked for me. Recently, I can definitely do recently, but okay, prior to, let's say, prior to 2000 and let's say 21, I did not know about the accessibility settings in certain devices, right? So a lot of things, being that I was just, I didn't know, were daunting tasks for me, because I didn't want to have to try to do something and, I couldn't get it done, or it's very difficult, very challenging. So at the end of 21, going into 22 was when I started being introduced to technology and devices that could actually assist me in doing things. And it was a learning curve, of course. However, just like learning something new, which I'm grateful for, I get a chance now to interact with technology that does a lot for me in terms of accomplishing things, accomplishing tasks, helping me to achieve some goals. And as I'm learning these new technologies, I'm also trying to be more proficient, not just know them, but actually know them pretty much inside out. Because I had a thought about this, and it was regarding business. I'm always thinking, but that technology and what it could do business-wise for, let's say, the community that I'm associated with now, and what that can mean moving forward for that entire community. And being that I deal with community and structures and constructs and infrastructure of different certain situations and communities, technology, in my opinion, is a helpful aid, and it's also a means to a greater means, not a means to an end in itself, because to me I see this being something perpetual, nothing to be afraid of, but something to, let's say, be intrigued by. to be fascinated with, as Mr. Spock would say on Star Trek, fascinating. So I look at technology that way. I find it to be useful in a lot of ways. I'm still learning a lot more. And honestly and truthfully, it's basically literally learning something and learning to do something with my eyes closed. And as awkward as that may sound, it actually does work. So I still use my senses. I still use my, hearing, my touch, my sense of smell, my directional, whatever faculties I am able to use, along with technology to assist me. And it seems to work pretty well. So I'm intrigued by it. I am fascinated with it. And I'm learning to utilize it more and more every day. But I am looking towards some great achievements business-wise in the not-too-distant future. And I think I know. I don't think I know it's going to be something. It's going to be a phenom. It's going to be a phenom. People are not going to believe it. It's going to be phenomenal. And with that, I hope that answers a question, and I hope I didn't just run off to left field and right field and all that other good stuff. But thank you for the time. I appreciate the question, and I hope that answered the question that you put on the floor. And please let me know if I did or not.
So, no, you did, and I thank you for your comment. And for everyone, it's different. Let me know if you hear too much interference. For everyone, it's different because we all do different things. We all are engaged in life differently. Some people will hype the results of what they see, and some people will downplay. And they're not wrong, and they're not right. It's just who they are and how they take it in. And actually, how they feel, it comes to them. Meaning, did you attract it? Was it always there and you didn't see it? Or is it a gift? Is it a gift? So, no, you answered it because it was about technology and how it applies to your life, personally, which you covered, professionally, business, which you covered. And I, too, am excited about where it's going. Again, keeping into perspective, protecting the human body, protecting your mind. Like young people, I'm sorry, young people, but you might be a little young. Young people, I'm going to say 40 and younger, don't remember the warnings of having cell phones too close to your body. And so you'll see a lot of them, and older people too, who may not, they could have been working. Now, for the commercial, right? Oh, wait, I'm waiting for something. They could have been working when I saw the commercial for the cell phones and the radiation level. And, because I do see older people. I see, especially men, I'm concerned when I see them with the cell phone holders, which I say is very close to their pancreas, right? I mean, their prostate. Well, that too, all of that stuff. No, the pancreas is a little higher up. But where, it's interesting, the design, where you're carrying your electronic devices, where you're holding them and keeping them, can determine the detriment to your body. So radiation is being attracted to the Bluetooth. Beam me up, Scotty. They were talking through their ears, just tapping on a little button. But that radiation coming through that Bluetooth, what is it, an earbud or something? That's deep. That's pretty deep. I still use a wired headphone, and yes, there is a level of attraction, but a smaller level. I would at least like to believe a smaller level of attraction of the radiation. So, I mean, it's still a lot to learn, but technology is the pulling of signal, designing that signal to produce information, and that information being used, period. I'm going to say used, period, because it can be used for good or for bad. So just designed and being used. And so I spoke about the project that I've been invited to participate in to help businesses gain more visibility using the Google tools. I mentioned that I would not have heard really anything. NADA invited me, but I would not have known that my business was up for grabs on the Google search had we not had this conversation and we looked at my website and there was a little box to the left that said, claim this business. Anyone could have claimed my business. So recommended that, you all go and check if you have websites that no one else has the ability to claim your business, which means go and claim it. And that we're looking for a couple of businesses, a few good men and women and men. No, but some businesses to be part of our pilot project. I trust that his expertise will be able to do what it says in customizing what you need, because it's all about what the customer needs, but the customer needs what the customer knows. Our information sessions will give an overview of the possibilities. And yes, the possibilities grow as well. They grow as well, but of the possibilities of what this program can do. So I'm excited. And again, for me, it was the knock-knock answer. As I said, I needed to kind of like reform my business. There was something I needed to back up off of so that I could give more to, and I know it's to the speaking. I'm going to stand up and speak to large audiences, and to the books. I'm getting my books out there. Those two things go hand in hand because my speaking will be motivation and empowerment, and making sure that someone walks away a little happier. And so that's what the books are about, too. So they're all in the same package. This project will help with outreach on a galactic level, as I mentioned, so you don't have to use my words, but because I know there's folks on Mars and up in the spaceships from all the countries, that they're not worldwide. If world is synonymous with Earth, they are out into the galaxy. They are out into the universe. As I speak about that, I'm just going to mention again, and this is not a paid advertisement, please go check out Terrence Howard. Please search on the internet for Terrence Howard. He is turning into my brother from the bigger father and mother. I don't put sex on the universe, but I'm just saying. Listening to him speak, I feel like I'm listening to myself. No, I'm not a genius, not in that respect. I'm not a physicist, and I don't have any patents. But on the level of understanding the universe and creation and what makes sense and what don't make sense and who to question and who not to question, my antennas are so far up, and they were planted in my head, That probably came, well, I did say before, right, that the brain forms in the first trimester, so that must have been an awesome trimester for my mom because, I'm just saying. So anyway, my antennas are up, and listening to him, he's saying, have you ever come across someone who's saying the same thing you say or the same things that you're feeling, and you're like, wow, I'm thinking the same thing or feeling the same thing, and what? You think you're all alone, but you're really not. None of us are alone. And I share with people that rain and ideas come together. Ideas come down like rain, drops on everybody who's in the area. What you do with that idea, if you even know it's an idea, that's up to you. But it comes down. It just drips and drizzles and mists on so many. But everything's not for everyone. Everything's not for everyone. So even in your business, everybody's not going to see your vision. They shouldn't be on your team if they don't. Let me say that. No, they could hire the caterer and they could play the music, but when it comes to the nitty-gritty of your business and the success of your business, if they don't see your vision, it doesn't mean they don't agree with you. That's different. Everybody doesn't have to agree. But if the vision of your business isn't clear to them, then they shouldn't be on your team in that designing business. My opinion. I have a couple of those. Opinions, that is, yeah. So, would anyone else like to comment on technology and how you see it personally in your life, good, bad, or indifferent, how you see it in your business, how you would like to see it in your business? And again, listening now or listening on YouTube, if you are interested in starting a business and don't know where, give us a call. 347-457-2769. Give us a call. Email teamfollowme@yahoo.com. But let me open the floor. So I'm going to open the floor. Any questions or comments?
Mic check.
I can hear you. Yes, thank you. How are you?
Fantastic and amazing.
How are you, King David? And I was just looking for your message to announce your show. So please, your comment, and also let us know about your show, please.
My show. First, my comic. You talk technology. Meet the Jetsons. Beam me up, Scotty. Back in 2018, I was presented with some technology called frequency medicine. And I listened to the call, and I'm on the highway driving now, and this guy was on the highway driving, and he had tremendous back pain. So they said, we're going to send you a pain relief boost, and you're going to stop hurting. I said, you're all right. So they asked him, did he have any water? And he said, yes. He said, I'll pull over. And they said, from 1 to 10, what is your pain level in your back? He said, 13. They said, drink some water. We're now going to send you pain relief boost. And so they said, what's the number now? He went from 13 to 8, from 8 to 4, and from 4 down to 1. And I said, okay, who pushed the button? The guy in New York pushed the button. The guy in Florida pushed the button. And he was in Georgia. I said, okay, whoop-de-doo. So they called me and said, do you want to purchase this? I said, no, I'm not buying anything. So I got on the call the next day and listened to people using technology, frequency. So I said, okay, this. So the guy called me again and he said, you know that preacher you see on TV and he waves his hand and everybody fall out? I said, yeah, that's Benny Hinn. He said, that's the kind of power you're going to have if you buy this. I said, give it here. Anyway, I purchased the technology. It was an app in those days. And I used it to work out. So I'm running. And I was jogging a little bit with a weight jacket on, some ankle weights. And December, nice cool weather in the park. So I'm just doing a little bit of jogging. Then someone said ping. Someone said ping again. And I started running real fast. I said, no, I don't want to do this. I want to go slow. and slower. So I look at my phone, and the thing said energy and pain relief. I said, okay, this app works. So I said, nah, not really. So the next day I'm out there running again, same time, ping, ping. Unbeknown to me, I set the timer for certain times to send me frequency energy. So technology doesn't scare me. It works for good and it works for evil. Yes. So my business is technology, frequency medicine. So I understand technology when it comes to frequencies. That's my story. Some of it, I'll speak to the rest of it later. Now my show tonight will be about a memorial we had for one of my trainers. He took tapping, EFT, emotional freedom techniques. That's when you tap meridian points to put the body back in balance. When we met him back in October, we took tapping, he took it to a new level. He had people on, asking who was in pain, and when they said where the pain was, less than 3 minutes, they were out of pain by using tapping techniques to get rid of pain. So he chose to leave here last week. And so, as a memorial for him, I will use some of his techniques tonight on the King David BS Talk. That's belief systems. Now, your belief systems don't have to be like mine. I just want you to think. Can frequencies really heal? Somebody named Einstein and Tesla said all medicine will be frequency medicine. When they say beam them up, Scotty, yes, they can literally almost do that now. Duplicatable. Because I've been introduced to another technology that will duplicate your body. It'll be two of you. The one who want to get well and the one that will be well when you follow the instructions from AI. Yes, artificial intelligence is good, and it's not good if you know how to use it. You tell artificial intelligence what you want done just enough so they can do what you want done. You don't give them any more because you start thinking about the rest. You have to know how to strategically use AI. Tonight, I'll do a memorial in honor of Dr. Michael Simpson, taught us techniques on putting the body back to homeostasis and relieving pain, illnesses, COVID, you name it and claim it. He did this over 13 years. And last night, about 60 people was on giving their testimony, how he helped them and how he trained them to help other people. And when he told us in February, God saved him because he flatlined at 59, gone, unplugged, and 23 of his students got on the phone and brought him back. But he chose to not call anybody this time, and he decided to leave. So that's what I'll be speaking about this afternoon at 8 p.m. Thank you. So if you're in pain, whoever you know in pain, bring them to the show. I'll rest the mic.
Thank you very much. Just want to make sure you can hear me, right?
I hear you with some static, but I hear you. You're in the matrix.
Thank you. Yeah.
You're in the matrix. A little bit.
8 p.m. tonight, King David Belief System, here on the Grown Folk Talking Network. And if you're watching this or listening to this on YouTube, please feel free to like, share, subscribe, and ring the bell. And that would be on like, SSR, which stands for like, share, subscribe, ring the bell, like, SSR.com. And you could also go to the Grown Folk Talking, YouTube, Grown Folk Talking, Express Yourself, and see, listen to many of the shows here on the Grown Folk Talking Network. 7 days a week, 7 a.m., we have the prayer line. And tomorrow, again, we have Jada at 6 p.m. with Grace Space, Carol Lucille with the Pink Sofa Talk at 7:30 p.m. And every day, there's something there. Listen to the show lineup, 520-525-8633. So, yes, we're talking about technology today, the benefits in your personal life. How do you see it? I mean, there's technology that's keeping people alive. Pacemakers are technology. And what I want to share is I love the ability to swing. Please go listen to Patty Austin, The Ability to Swing. I love that song, and I keep hearing it. The ability, the ability, the ability. That's the first thing that comes to my head. But I want people to understand what's available to them. What's available to them. And the importance of controlling what you have so that it can benefit you. Not people. Don't control people, really, kind of, sort of-ish. But controlling what you have available to you to get the results that you desire. If you do not have a business and you're wondering why, what business am I listening to this for? It's like, not my business. They're talking about business. You do have a business. You have something that someone could use. You have something that someone needs, whether it's cleaning house or cooking. God only knows, or cooking, right? And you can create a series of videos on either one of the, just as an example, men and women. God, men can cook when they can cook, Lord. You can create a series of videos and market those videos individually and as a group, as a set. You can do that because there's something that people need to learn, and you have that. So don't think that you have no business listening to this video. Edit it, right? Don't think you have nothing to offer. And so one of the values in today's conversation is about technology and how technology can take you or your business, personally or professionally, to the next level. And guess what? You're using technology now. And if anything you heard today on this show, Evadyne with Company, talk worth listening to, anything you heard today sparked an idea, thank technology. Thank technology. Because that's how you're listening to this. It doesn't have to be huge. It doesn't have to be, oh my God, so difficult to understand. It doesn't have to be any of that. If you're holding a device, you're engaged with technology. Don't let people scare you. Like, we used to be, well, some people were afraid of needles, right? I keep saying right. Wow, am I going back to the 80s? So, me minding my own business. There are some people who are afraid of needles in the medicine industry, needles. The needle is a pinch. I mean, like, the needle's like getting popped with a rubber band. But it's usually what's in the needle that causes the most concern, because it's a foreign object going into your vein, right? I said it again. So it's really fear that keeps us from doing many of the things that we would be so successful at. Get rid of the fear. This is 2024, and here's the thing I've been saying for 2024. 2024 is the year for us to get even. It's an even year, and it's the year for us to get even. Everybody to get even. So stretch and do whatever you need to do to get yours. to get yours. And you can start first. Again, this is not a selfish thing. It's self-preserving.
Okay, can everybody hear me?
I can.
Doing it. Okay. All right, so the question on the floor is, how has technology done for you? Has it done positive? Has it done negative? Has it improved what you're able to do, or do you see it as something that really doesn't help you and has hindered you? And has it helped you personally? Has it helped you professionally? So that's the question that Evadyne has asked. I answered it earlier. So please, next person, the floor is open, and that's the question on the floor.
Well, I think technology's all right, but it has its good sides and its bad sides, like everything else. That's all I got to say.
Thank you, John.
Yeah.
So,
Good to hear you, buddy. Yes, hello.
hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, it's Francesca. I would like to answer the question how technology, it has its good points and it has its bad points, but I rely on technology a lot. When I say a lot, I run a business from New Jersey, from Santo Domingo, and it has helped me a lot where, I have cameras installed so I can see what's going on in my business since I'm here. I'm computer savvy too, so I manage it from up here. So that's its good points because no matter where you're located and stuff, to me technology is very important. But the downside to the technology also, and where I'm weary, is that there's a lot of scams. You have to be very careful putting your information out there. I'm not embarrassed to say I've been hacked twice in my accounts, and we never find out who my money is replaced, of course, because it's not my fault. But we have a lot of hackers, and we have a lot of scammers, and that's the downside to the technology where if you put your information, vital information, especially I put vital information up there, you have to have a tight-knit, secure system that someone can't hack into your account. Not too long ago, I deal with IG a lot, where I have a bunch of followers where I do my platform, and I got hacked there, and I lost a lot of information. I lost a lot of pictures. I lost a lot of videos. I lost a lot of information. I went completely crazy. And when I reached out to Instagram, they had to do a business one where now is more secure. I look at who's, wants to follow me. So my information is not, hacked or stolen again. So that was like the big pet peeve I had with technology when that happened to me, because my strength in technology is my Facebook, where that's my platform, and IG is where I post all my speaking engagements, all the stuff that I do in the community. So when that happened to me, I really went I was very upset. But technology, it has its good points because no matter where you are, you can open a business anywhere. And if you know a lot of, well-to-good people that know how to install security cameras, now we can see everything through our phones. My daughter has a good system in her house where she sees who's coming at her door with the device that she has. If her car, got several, her car has gotten into accidents without her being in the vehicle, and the camera picks up the license plate, the color of the model that hit her car. So technology is very important and very necessary, but it has its downfall too, where you have to be a little savvy to know that you are putting information out there. Even though if you pay a little extra to have it secure, I suggest that because that's what I do, because we do put a lot of information, passwords, emails, and stuff like that, and we got not good hackers. I'm going to say
expert hackers. So to me, it's good, and to me, it's bad. But it's more good on my side than actually bad. I'm more wary now of what they can't do anymore because I hit the source. So technology is, like, with me, a win-win. But it has its, like some young lady said, it has its bad points. It does. But you have to be very, very alert and look out for what information you're putting out there and secure it very tightly. Like I said, a little bit of money adding to security goes a long way than just leaving it out there in the wind and you think something's not going to happen when it does. It's happened to me. So thank you.
And thanks for sharing that, Francesca.
You're welcome.
Would you like to announce your show?
Thank you so much. I have a podcast every Wednesday from 6 to 8, No Longer Silence. Is based on domestic violence. And my name is Francisca Nunez, so all are welcome to hop on my podcast this coming Wednesday. Thank you so much.
Thank you for that, Francesca. Thank you. Would anybody else like to make a comment about the question about technology, your feelings about it, your opinions, and also if you are on the network, would you please like to announce your podcast, your day and your time, and your topic? Okay, well, while we're waiting, I'll just make one more comment. Technology, in my opinion, has come a long way. I've been made aware that at the certain dentist offices, they have a device that looks like a dental camera, the one they use to take the pictures of your teeth from the outside. It looks similar to that, except it's a nerve numbing device where they point it at the side that they're going to work on, and it numbs that whole side without having to use the injections of Novocaine. And they go and they work inside your mouth, and you don't feel a thing. And when it's complete, I think they give you some kind of, I guess, medication for any pain that you're going to feel afterward. But while you're in the dentist chair, you feel absolutely no pain whatsoever with that device. So there are some good points, yes, to technology. It has come a long way, and I'm one to admit I do not like the dentist, so I do take care of my teeth as best I can, because I do not like to visit that office. I've gotten into fights with dentists. Unfortunately, that anxiety builds up for me, and we don't get along. So I'm grateful for that technology. And if there's anybody else, well, I'm quite sure there's somebody else that would like to make a comment about technology and how you feel about it, and now's your time. The floor is open.
This is John. I just want to say that in the future we won't have physical surgery and needles. It'll all be done with energy frequencies and electromagnetic fields, and like you're talking about this needleless way of numbing teeth. It's all coming along. They just take forever to release it and put this stuff out there. But someday it's going to be like Star Trek. Remember Dr. McCoy? How he work on people? It's going to be more like that, and it's coming.
John, would you like to announce your show?
Oh, hi. This is John. I have the Vision Care Show. It's on Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, and we cover a lot of health topics and a lot of stuff for eyes and eye problems. and we cover other topics sometimes. Whatever's, causing stress and anxiety, we try to help you with that. But yeah, the medical field's coming along, stem cells, and pretty soon they'll be growing new teeth from stem cells in your mouth. That's coming out. You can read about that on the internet and look at it. But a lot of this stuff's going to improve. The doctor I worked with, we have a device that uses electrodes, and we can put them over the eyes, and the energy frequencies and electromagnetic fields coming out of the machine go through the electrodes into the tissue, and we charge up the electrons in the atoms. An atom usually has like 19 electrons, and when the electrons aren't charged up properly, the cells can die because the atoms aren't charged up properly. Whenever you have a disease or a sickness, it's usually at the subatomic level where the atoms are not charged up properly. And a lot of things can cause that. So when you go out and get sunlight, the energy from the sun, the radioactive energy and particles and light energy and protons, and they can help charge up your electrons in your atoms. And the food you eat, cigarettes and alcohol, drugs, chemicals in foods, they can lower the electron energy in the atoms. So that's all, subatomic level. That's where all these problems exist. So, just keep an eye out. You're going to see more things changing, slowly, but we got it. Needles they do bother people, and they're painful, and whenever they try to give you an IV and they miss and they got to do it again, and getting surgery and being cut up and stapled up and stitched up, and it's just we're coming out of the dark ages right now, and all this is more old school type stuff from the 60s, the 50s, the 40s, 30s, So things are moving along more. You just got to advocate more for that you want this more, and vote for people that are trying to do this to help people, and look for better ways to heal people, and when they have an injury, how to repair it. Sometimes surgery is necessary. If you go have a compound fracture on your leg, it's going to require some surgery to fix it. If you get shot with a gun, you're going to need surgery, or stabbed, or severe accidents. But they're working on it.
I'm sorry, excuse me. I'm sorry, John. Can you please tell us what's coming up with you in New York City this summer? Then you can have it back, Marcus.
I have a couple workshops set up, but I don't think anybody's going to go to them. It's too chaotic out there right now.
Optimistically speaking, you have something set up in New York this coming summer?
The third Saturday in May and the third Saturday in October, I have a workshop scheduled at the Millennium Hotel. It's across the street from the UN building. It's on Saturday. It's from 10 in the morning till 4 in the afternoon, and we go through the vision improvement kit that we have, and we work with people with eye problems and eye diseases, and whoever wants to go to it. It's like spending a whole day in the clinic with me. And the workshop usually goes over, sometimes you don't get out of there till 6 o'clock. But if anybody wants information on that, you can look on my website, drbanker.com, and just click on the workshop link. And there's a description of the workshop and a list of upcoming workshops where I'm doing them. But, it's kind of rough right now for people.
Thank you very much. But you will be there, right, John?
If I get enough people to go to it, I have to pre-register people a month before the workshop. I have to sign people up for it. There's a charge for it. And if I don't have enough people, I don't just go out there and sit there because, I don't do a lot of advertising on the radio and stuff. It's just too expensive nowadays. We used to do radio spots and other things, but unfortunately, I'm not doing brain surgery or heart surgery or liver surgery or, I'm just doing a vision therapy type thing, and it doesn't make that much money, really.
Thank you. And what is the registration fee?
workshop, $700 for the day. It's a real nice location. I used to do them at the Hotel Pennsylvania, and it wasn't so expensive over there, and I used to charge $500. But they tore down the Hotel Pennsylvania. It's not there anymore. It's just an empty lot. They're going to build a huge skyscraper there. So I had to move it to another hotel, and we use a nice workshop room, and we have 6-foot long, 30-inch wide tables, and we put 2 people per table. And I usually have the one over there, the Millennium. I can do 20 people in the day, and it includes one of our vision improvement kits. We sell those for $200, to people. So unfortunately, I've had to raise the price a little because I had to find another venue, and there's not a lot of hotels in New York that have the right size workshop room that I need and the tables that I do use. And a lot of those hotels, they want thousands of dollars to use a room for one day. So, but, it's a great workshop. Everybody that ever goes to it is really amazed with it, and it was way more than expected. And some of them even leave there without their glasses.
So I am going to ask you, thank you, I'm going to ask you, so this sounds like as Mother's Day is coming and Father's Day to follow, that this is something if a person has vision issues and are interested in getting the information, getting the therapy through the whole day, understanding it, that maybe family members could chip in and help them. Also, as a tax preparer, I know that this workshop, if you itemize on your taxes, because it is health related, if you itemize, it can go on your taxes under health and medical.
Well, we deduct all the fees and stuff for the hotel and airfare and ground transportation and everything on our tax.
Right, that's what you do, John. But for those who come to participate, right, people who are coming to participate, they'll be able to, if they itemize on their taxes, be able to write it off.
You're cutting out.
I'm sorry. It is health and medical related, so you will be able to write this off, and better than that,
you know what I mean.
It's covers. And he'll be paying tribute to a colleague, so it's always good. And again, tune in at 7 a.m. every morning for the prayer line. And tomorrow, Tuesday, again, is Jada with Grace Space at 6 p.m. And she's going to have a TikTok influencer, so come and get influenced, please. And just come and get influenced. She's going to have a TikTok influencer. I'm repeating it just in case it cut off. And I say come to get influenced and understand technology and the value of it and what we can do and how we can reach people. Everything is not 100% perfect for everyone, but you can pick out what's good for you, what works for you. And again, it's always good to be 100% you. I am Evadyne. This is Evadyne with Company Talk Worth Listening To. And I'll ask Marcus, do you have any final words?
Just a great podcast as usual. Thank you to everybody for chiming in, and I'm glad to be able to, help out with the co-hosting for today's show. Thank you, Evadyne, for the time, and everybody have a great night. Thank you for tuning in.
All right.
Thank you. And again, August 10th, just 1 minute. August 10th, Grown Folk Talking is hosting a health event in Newark, New Jersey, on North 9th Street, Salvation Army. All are welcome. There'll be vendors with food. There'll be no meat in the house. So you'll learn how to eat healthier and just recognize that because you hear vegan doesn't mean it's anything other than your extra serving of vegetables on your plate. Really. If people hear vegan and think, oh, my God, I can't do that. Yeah, you can. If you've been eating cabbage and collard greens and spinach and, maybe mashed potatoes or a baked potato or sweet potato or some squash, that's vegan. It just means no meat.
No animal product.
No animal product. Thank you, John. So you just come and enjoy life. Come in to this event, August 10th. Mark your calendar. And Marcus is hosting a trip to the farm this summer, working on exactly which farm it'll be and what day. It'll be closer to the fall, from what I'm understanding, because those vegetables will be easier to carry into this winter months. So you'll be able to get them in abundance. Start saving your shingles. Get them in abundance and freeze them so you'll have fresh vegetables. There will be some fruits too, but definitely fresh vegetables to carry you through the winter into the spring, and then we'll probably do it again. I'm just saying. This is Evadyne with Company Talk worth listening to. Again, please visit my website, networkingforsuccess.info. Please get the books. The books are excellent. I've been told, so I had to listen carefully, that I write like a pimp speaks. And so I had to be patient to understand what he meant. But he said when he reads the books, it's in a way that helps no matter where you are, speak to your level of understanding with a clear way of getting the information. In the end, the information is well received, and you see what can benefit you. He compared it to a pimp recruitment because it's about influencing that decision to become part of the team. So it's about how manipulation of information and so I think I took it as a compliment. So I want everybody to have a great every day and come back again at 8, come back again next Monday. Why the heck not, right? Peace.
All right. Bye-bye.